Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another weekly forecast slash breakdown. And as you guys may already know, gold has finally broken the all-time high. If we quickly look at the VIP results, you can see we took a little less trades than what we normally do, but quality over quantity, as I like to say, because the trade that we did take was the trade that actually broke out. Well, gold actually ended up breaking out. So that was a fantastic sort of trade that we took. We didn't need to take many others. And that's all we were trying to go for throughout these, these past weeks. And that's what I would like to break down for you guys today. So it's going to be a very interesting sort of video. So be prepared. One thing I'd like to mention, if you guys are not in the free channel, the link is in the description, and you'll then find out how you can sort of join VIP. And I do post sometimes some sort of discounts here and there for you guys to get access. Other than that, there's usually sort of free analysis, free trade setups, and did I end up sending that? Yeah, I think I did. I did send out the breakout trade to the free channel here. The reason why I wanted to send that out is because the day before I tried to send out a sell setup on CPI. It didn't work out, as you can see from there. Loads of heartbreak emojis. So I decided to send out another trade after the day after, and that turned out to be the trade that ended up sending us higher. So we had a lot of people sort of entering due to the reactions. Please do react if you can. It just tells me how many people are sort of in the trade, active. You know how many people we got that are following my sort of analysis as well. And you can see based on these reactions, shout out to you guys if you end up reacting to this message. Those you guys are the true ones, and you guys are the ones that are active. But without further ado, let's get into the charts and let's break down this trade. And let's sort of break down how I saw the market and how I knew that price would have likely to sort of continue up, and why CPI wasn't going to provide us that move, and why I ended up going for that sell position that I was sort of talking to you about, and so on and so forth. So pretty much I've put down this monthly open. This line I actually didn't have on the charts last week until towards the end of the week. I actually put that after the bullish move happened, so I was doing some sort of backtesting and just seeing how we could have improved. So we had this sort of monthly open line here, and you can see from the start of the month of September, price is sort of using it to sort of push price down. And then once price ended up getting up back above it, you can see that from this point onwards, this is a sort of a retest, and price ended up giving that big push up. So if you were sort of just using the monthly open, you could have made some profit on this trade if you ended up getting this sort of retracement. But if we just remove that for now, just to show you where the week started and then where the week ended. So the week started around about Monday here. Actually, no, actual week started from here, the 9th of September. So we had a very, very bullish week. You can see from there that the week started around about there, it did push down to retest, and then from then on, it was just pure bullish days, right? So if you take that information and just use Monday, for example, right here. So you have your Monday, the start of the day ended up pushing down, right? Failed to break below this low here. And this is a rejection block because you can see that the body's closed within the wick. Now, in order for a confirmation of a rejection block, you need price to break above the prior high. And this says, okay, we're getting a structure break and price will likely continue higher. We ended up getting that with price pushing up above this high, came back to retest this area here, and then from then on, price just used that as a sort of support level and continued the bullish pressure, right? We then get in towards CPI. This is the sort of the main news event of the week, and you can see that price has now sort of created a support level at none other than 2,500, which is a key number. So you can see that price is using 2,500 to keep price up, right? I did take this as a sign that once sort of price went all the way up here, I thought that price was going to break up with CPI. I did send analysis on the free channel saying that this is what I'm expecting for CPI, which is right here. Price was really high up. I was expecting for price to push down and then continue up, or push up and then continue down, depending on what we get from the CPI release. So if we go back to the charts, from the CPI release, we ended up getting a push down and a push up, right? Which is basically my initial approach. So you can see from here to there, This was your sort of retest area, and I was expecting price to push up, but it was basically the reaction that we got from New York that from our, I think from the first sort of buy position, we didn't go anywhere and price ended up pushing lower. It was these wicks that ended up telling me that maybe we may not be going up. It's because price ended up pushing really low down here based off this previous structure, and this ended up faking a lot of people out, right? Especially me. I'm not afraid to deny that, because we ended up trying to take a sell from here, and although we made some profit on the push up here, price went back down, took us out entry, and then I looked for a sell to sell from here. I believe it was from here with your SL above the prior high, like so. And then you can see that price danced around entry. The reason why I was looking for a sell position here was I was looking to see if price could tap below these lows here, tap into this area here, and then potentially make a move up by collecting that liquidity below 2,500, right? But price did take out this low here, just at 25.01, and then from then it was just sort of, once price got back above this high, I knew that this would have been used as a bullish support, right? Because this is now a breaker block, because you have a low, a lower low, a higher high, and our price will use this as a support to continue up. So that is why my stop loss was there, because I'd have a stop loss, and the stop loss will tell me that if price takes out your stop loss, the sell is not valid anymore. So you've attempted the sell, price could have easily fallen down if it wanted to, but because it's now taken out your stop loss, you now need to flip your buys and start looking for buys again, because price is now going to go for that all-time high. So that was my approach, right? So you don't beat yourself up if you hit your stop loss. Don't go again and try selling again after the high, because price can continue going up. As you can see, it's exactly what happened. Price ended up pushing up here, retesting that CPI open, and then price came back to retest this area, and price continued up. Now this then leads us into Thursday, right? So we know that price is now retested this area here. We know that price is now pushing up. It's made a new high here at London. So now we need to look at where price could end up retesting to hold as support, and it was this area right here which I was using to trade off of. So because price came back down into here, we ended up taking a buy position here, stop loss below that low, like so like there, and stop loss below here. Because we know that if price takes out these lows, this is a breaker structure. Price is now taking out a low after taking out a high. So we don't want that, right? So basically this was your target sort of thing. And one more thing I would like to mention is that this sort of move that we get here, if you get a fib out and mark out from there to there, look how price is now tapped into discount area. So this is now your optimal sort of area that you can start entering, because it's it's in a discount from where it was. It's 50% discount, so a lot more people will obviously buy at a 50% retracement. And you can see that once we ended up getting in, price ended up going up. We then get a sort of manipulated move just before the main breakout, where price ended up pushing lower, taking out the London low. But did it take out this low? No, it didn't. So you can see that price ended up coming back, retesting this area here, the lower sort of mini order block that we got, or slash breaker that we have here. So you can see based on this, price tapped into that. So there's a lot of purple boxes now. And then once price tapped into that, I was expecting an immediate reaction back up to the upside. And that's exactly what we got. So that allowed me to stay true on my sort of bullish path, because we got that immediate reaction. This tells me that, okay, that was a manipulated move to take people out, and now it will follow the true direction. So you can see that once price broke above here, you then got the PPI news, and then that ended up pushing price higher. And then from then on, obviously you came back to retrace if you wanted to get in. And then once that was, it already took out these highs here. So that was your sort of breakdown of your breakout trade and why we ended up getting it. One more thing I wanted to mention based on this is a sort of smaller time frame trade on Thursday, but you could have still got in here on your buys. And I know Michael did get in on his buys from here, from this CPI retracement. If I go back to the Howard chart, and then we have a quick look at the weekly range, basically at that point in time. So you can see Monday's low was here, right? And then just before, the high of the week was there, right? So this is your weekly range from there to there. because price is up here, and the weekly range was basically from this low to this high, and the weekly open was around about this level there, right? Price is now really high, right? So what we need to wait for is we need to wait for price to come back into discount. What I mean by that is you need to sort of measure, you can use the fib tool, really helps a lot, and you can measure where discount is. So discount is anywhere below 50%, right? Obviously you can get it down to your 618, your OTE sort of thing if you want to get those perfect entries. And we noticed that price did, with CPI, push back down into discount. And because it pushed into discount, this is where you would have entered your premium buy levels. You could have put stop losses below any of these lows, but I was waiting for confirmation first. But you can see how the bodies did not close below the 50% level. And that tells us that these were just wicks with CPI just to take people out, pop, pop, pop. But the bodies were telling us that it does not want to close below the discount price. There's buyers here that are pushing price up. And that's why from this level, you got green candle, green candle, green candle, and then price used this area here. And this is on the 1 hour time frame. This is a 1 hour FVG. Price respected, that's 1 minute, 1 hour. There you go. Price respected this area. And then we pushed up, came back to retest this area, and then it continued up. So you can, it's a lot of information here, but I think in summary, what you could have done is just looked at the weekly range where price was before CPI. It was really high up, just around here. Price could have then, we could have potentially pushed up to take out the highs. That would have been a bearish move at CPI, but because price pushed down with CPI, this allowed us to get in to the buy trades here because price pushed back into discount and continued up. This is not the first time gold has done this. It has done this multiple times, as you can see from here. So you have Wednesday and Friday. So this was one of the weeks before where the low of the week was there, the high of the week was here. You can see based on this range that price basically still did push into discount again, and you could have got into your buys at this discounted area. Obviously, if it gave you confirmation, you could have still took it price back up, and that would have been another swing trade sort of thing. And this is how gold sort of moves. If price is pushing really high, you have to wait for price to rebalance itself and get rediscounted, push back into discount, and then that's where buyers re-enter the trades again and then push price back up. Another example right here, you ended up getting a bullish move from here. Price is going up, you're like, oh, when's it going to stop, it then pulls back for you back into the discount area, and what happens straight away, price then pushes back up towards the highs again. Obviously in this point we expected price to push up higher, but it failed to do so, and that was pretty much your trade. You ended up getting a decent amount of pips based on that. If we go and draw a fib again, same thing, price came back into discount, right below the yellow line. This is where you start, okay, right, I'm going to start looking for buys, and then you get a straight move back up. So keep an eye on this going forward. It's quite powerful, but obviously entering based off just that discount may not work because you have you'll have a very large stop loss. So you want to sort of try and figure out how to enter from that. What signs are you looking for that, okay, price will now reverse rather than going lower. So that is pretty much it from the breakdown. What are we expecting on the forecast? So if we just get rid of that, get rid of this, and get rid of that. So now, as I mentioned, if we zoomed out onto the 4 hour time frame, we can now see that price is used this as a support and resistance area. If I then mark this high right here, drag the box across, you can see that price tapped into there, and now what did price do after it broke out? Tapped into there, pushed up, okay, failed, came back, tried it again. Now it was time to go. It's time to go. Price retrace, pushes up. That's your support and resistance move, right? Do we now do it again? Possible, very possible here. So now what we need to see is if price wants to potentially push higher again. I'm watching that 2600 level. I've sent this on the VIPs. watch this 2600 level. It's the main key point around here. It could reverse at 2590, no problem. It's not a problem. We need to see something where price pushes up again, and then potentially breaks structure, and then this is how we potentially could get in our sell move if price wants to move back down. I'll show you an example of that, which will be on one of the other pushes to the upside, which is something like this here, where you can watch this area there. You can see that price broke out, pushed up again. So you have your initial push, price will consolidate, potentially for a day, and then you'll get another push to the upside, which will take out the highs, right? So it took out these highs. Then what did price do? I'll do the arrows again, probably easier for you guys to see. So price consolidated, pushed up again, and then price came back down, and then use that to push back down. So this would have been your low, swing low there. Notice how this swing low was lower than that one. This tells us that it's a break of structure and price wants to push down a little, and then pushes down. With that move, what was that? What was this move here? It was a retest, and it was also a discount price. Boom. Can't make this stuff up. This is quite the way it fits into place is beautiful in terms of how it retests, and also a 50% level, which is a lot of confirmations. You then get into your buys here, push price back up. So the similar sort of thing we want to see happen here, where we want to see sort of sideways movement. Let's say something like this, price pushes up and then retraces back down, and then we get something like that. And then when price pushes back down to here, let's sort of see where our discount levels are. If price is up there, for example, you can see that price is now pushing into discount, retesting this sort of initial impulse from PPI, retesting this area here, and then potentially, if you get this the signs, you could see a bullish move from there. So that's what I'm expecting for this week, a potential push up, a bearish week going into this week, just to clean up some of this mess. If we get that at the start of the week, then you'll see a price push down immediately, and then you're likely to see price push up. The only way I'm going to be bearish is if price starts to break some of the prior lows, right? So you can see, based on the previous breakout, what did we end up getting? This was the prior low here, right? We have this as the prior low. Price came back into this area, but didn't break any of the prior lows. This told us that price wants to keep climbing higher, right? So if I draw the arrows here, you have a low, you have a high, price came back. Did it break down the initial low here? No, it didn't. So price failed to break the lows. Excuse me 1 second. Don't know what's going on there. So price failed to break the lows. So we check that again. You have your prior lows here, like so. And then you do the same sort of thing. You have a low, price pushes up. If it comes back to here and holds at this level, then you're likely to see price push back up. But if it doesn't, then this could be a sign where price will be like this. If it goes back down to here, this will be a sort of bearish sign where price would likely to retrace and push back down. So you want to see what happens with price and where it goes. It's all about structure here and technical analysis. Hope this has been very helpful for you guys. I'm going to keep this here, and this will be sort of my sort of guidelines for next week. If you guys are not in the free channel, please be sure to join. The link is in the description. I'm going to quickly switch over to US30 because US30 decided to sort of be weird on Friday for us, but similar sort of thing we had on US30, where price at the start of the week ended up pushing down, filled the new week opening gap. So you had a new week opening gap here. We filled the new week opening gap and immediately straight U-turn. Once we got that straight U-turn, this would have been the area to get back into buys here because it was a retest of this breaker. And then price ended up pushing up and kept climbing up on Thursday, Friday. So I'm very, very bullish end to the week on US30. One thing I wanted to note though is if you did a similar sort of thing is what I was explaining about all of this week. The low to the high, you can see price tapped off the 50%, and that's when we had a reversal. You may be like, oh, wait, why using this low? Use this low. All right, cool. I use this low. Same thing. Price tapped off 50%, retested this area here, and then from then we also failed to close below the new week opening gap as well, which tells us that this wick was just a, you know, it was just to do damage basically. And then once price got back in, it was a straight reversal. Price broke above the prior high, came back to retest, and then price ended up pushing up on Thursday and Friday, pushes back up. So in terms of next week's forecast, if we look at the daily time frame, price did respect this daily fair value gap. So at the start of the week, we could get a potential retracement. If we get this potential retracement, I'm looking for price to either push up here and then push back down, or what we could get is for price to push lower first. If we get that at the start of the week, this gives us a discount price action to sort of continue and attack these highs here. So again, we can still attack the prior highs right there. We've got liquidity sitting above that. So it depends which way we go. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. Still got to work on my US30. New to it. Not as obviously as a veteran on gold, but we're working, and we're sort of striving to be better every single day. If you guys are not in the VIP, please be sure to join. The links are in the description. If not, you'll find some links on the free channel. So stay tuned on those. It's been Always FX. Peace out.